What is up, everybody? Another wonderful Monday night of Chewin the BBQ Fat. And if you can't tell, it is extra wonderful.
Yeah.
Look who is here. I mean, it's amazing.
I'm telling you.
There is nothing better.
And it's past my bedtime. Can you believe it?
I mean, Lex, it's amazing. Thank you so much for spending time tonight with us. You're the best.
Thanks.
Robert.
She gave me extra caffeine. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Exactly. You know, we do what we got to do around here. Guys, everybody, I am sorry about last week. It was I don't know. We didn't have the show. A lot of stuff was going on, and we just didn't have it. I think I fell asleep and wasn't good. So apologize for last week on Chewin the BBQ Fat. We are here today, and we are going to have a good show tonight. There's been a lot going on in barbecue that I know nothing about, but that's why I'm bringing on the experts to talk about it. My man Robert and Lex. They are
right
here. We did start early because Robert's on, so once we'll let y'all jump in later on.
Is anybody on?
Not yet. There was somebody, but nobody's on right now. And so we are going to.
This is more often.
Yeah, exactly. This is perfect.
Like,
you know,
I didn't start this early.
Yeah, I'm always 10 minutes late, not 10 minutes early. But hey, look, that's all good. It's going to be like a podcast or whatever. So, Robert, I know you love the live comments, which we don't have tonight right now. So it's a great thing. So let's just get
comments,
started.
no agenda. We're screwed.
No comments, no agenda. Ellen's here, but she won't jump on. There's somebody. How you doing, whoever you are watching? Thank you for jumping on.
Thank God. Write something.
We have one. What's up, Matt Osmond? How you doing, buddy?
Hey, Matt.
Hey, we got two now. Hey, y'all two go share that page, like the page, get it out there to that other third person so we can have three watching tonight. It's going to be a blast. We're up to 4. Look at there. It is just, they're just rolling in.
We're on now. It's a party. Let's do it.
It's a party. We can get started. So before we get started into all the wonderful fun things of what Robert and Lex have been up to, I've got to do a little bit of housekeeping, and we do have a delivery going to Waynesboro this weekend. If you're going to Boss Hog, put in Waynesboro, maybe Waynesboro for your discount code. There was a question about Sevierville.
I'm not sure that I will try.
We don't know if we have anybody going to Sevierville, but if we find somebody, we'll send them to you.
Yeah.
And other than that, there you go. Boss Hogs coming up this weekend. Great contest. Smoke Slam delivery. I don't think we have anybody going out to Memphis area. I don't know if we want to add. That's a lot of stuff. I'm not going to say that, honey, because send an email. Then you might be able to get in. Send an email to ellen@atlantabarbecuestore.com. There you go.
If they place an order this week, there's a little Mother's Day special for all the
Mother's Day
hot
special this
moms
week.
out
All
there.
you hot moms out there,
You get a little hot sauce.
you get a Killer Hogs hot sauce added to your order if you order this week.
Yes.
There you
Until
go.
supplies run out.
Until supplies run out. There you go. Look at Ellen. She is always coming up with something fun. That's a hot mom right there, that Ellen. Woo-wee. Tell you what. Treat those mamas good. All right, real quick. We have a new rub on the store. Smoke and Ghost Barbecue all-purpose rub. If you can read that, it says next level recipe. Try this out. You're going to love it. It's a great new product out by Smoke and Ghost. Paul's got some amazing stuff out there. You're going to love it. If you need an injector, go get a spit jack. We have them in stock. We have them here. Great item. Use it while you're injecting something as you cook something for those moms out there. Get it now so you have it in time. Anything? Oh, Heath Riles. We have Heath Riles glazes. Robert, have you tried them?
No, I haven't.
No, you got to get on that.
What kind of glaze you're talking about?
Oh, we're talking about the apple hob.
Oh, okay.
And the pineapple habanero. That's a very interesting combo right there. The little pineapple hob. Love to hear about it. And we also he also has a new sauce, competition sauce. Not to be confused with the competition rub, which everybody loves. So if you love the competition rub, imagine how that competition sauce is going to be. It's going to be amazing. So we have that in half gallons and pints. And anything else that you can think of, my love? Robert, is there anything at the store that you want to talk about that you love so much?
I don't know. We haven't been competing, right? So I don't
we
know.
haven't.
And we haven't changed anything. So might try that pineapple thing, right, on ribs.
Yeah.
She's not going to change anything.
Look, Robert, we know better than that.
Look at that face. She's like,
I mean,
changing anything.
As a partner, as a cook partner with y'all now, that's who we are. Chewin the BBQ Fat is the way we roll.
That's right.
Lex does not want us to change anything.
No.
I know. I'm all about trying new stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
well, we don't cook, but maybe once a month.
Well, got to give it a go.
You got to get practicing on that.
Yeah.
Man, honey, could you imagine being able to cook once a month? I haven't. We're gonna cook. Our next cook is coming up really fast. Once a quarter, yeah, right. Once every half a year. Our next cook is coming up in what?
July.
What, Robert? 2-3 months?
July.
Beginning of July.
Yeah,
right. The week after July 4th week.
Mm-hmm. Is that when
Greenwood, South Carolina.
We are ready. Y'all are gonna be. Y'all look out. Y'all look out. The salmon shirt is going to come out. It's going to be a good day. We haven't cooked in forever.
Yeah.
And we're going to have fun. We're going to have a ball. So y'all don't have to worry about Chewin the BBQ Fat beating you. You just have to worry about having fun with us, because that's why we're there. We're going to have a ball. It's going to be a great time. And, it's going to be a good time.
Well, you're going to be hating it because you're not cooking on any cans.
But I get to go back and cook on a stick burner, and I am stoked about cooking on a stick burner.
Unless you pick chicken, then you might be on the
I'm not cooking chicken. I am not cooking. I'm going to rig it this time. I am not cooking those two meats.
When are we picking those categories?
Well, you know what? We don't even have to pick them. I'm going to just, let you choose. Whatever you want to cook, you tell me.
Let's go.
Pork
and brisket.
Pork and brisket? You just taking both big ones?
Yes. I don't know. I might try ribs on the pork and Ellen told me to shut up, and I'm only cooking pork and brisket. She just shut me down. The Black Beauties have been every time I cook, the Black Beauties come out.
But we're not cooking on the drums, so
no, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, you don't want a Black Beauty on a stick burner.
You don't want Black Beauties on the can either, Lex. We can burn some ribs. I'm telling you, we're good at that.
We'll both be cooking off the same heat source, so I don't think that'll happen.
Okay, good.
Because if you're getting Black Beauties, I'm getting Black Beauties on whatever I'm cooking on there.
And that ain't gonna happen.
No,
that is not gonna happen.
There'll be a supervision factor going on this time.
We need it, just like we need supervision going on this show. But speaking of supervision, this is going to kind of lead us into what's going on. Every good barbecue contest needs supervision for running their contest. So as an organizer, we hire sanctioning bodies to come in and sanction our events. Therefore, we need a supervisor. We need somebody overseeing what happens at a contest. And who would that be at a contest for KCBS? That's your reps, your KCBS reps. And I'm telling you what, if there is a great supervisor that can tell us what to do, these two that you're looking at are absolutely amazing. I'm telling you, if you got a contest coming up, give these two another couple months, and they're going to be, months. I don't know.
Could be a year. Could be a couple of years.
Could be a couple of years. But once they get that stamp of approval, I'm telling you what.
Yeah.
Come on, baby. Let's go. It's going to be a good time. So leading into that, Robert and Lex, tell everybody what y'all have been up to the past couple months.
So we've been reps and training last couple months. Actually, it's Gadsden. If anybody was at Gadsden, they saw us there. We were reps and training for Gadsden. Before that, we did sort of an unofficial, sort of observe the Appletons do a backyard contest in Chelsea, Alabama. And then this last weekend, we had a double with Randy and Carol Bigler in Oneota, Alabama.
What in the world is that?
And so we did a double.
Thank you. That's so sweet.
So yeah, we did a double backyard contest. So that was pretty neat. The organizer there, Gareth Price, right?
Mm-hmm.
He let me pull in and take up some space with the RV. He had the dogs right there on site, so it made it a good weekend for that reason.
Yeah.
Made it easy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Got up in the morning, took the clock around to the teams, and Ollie walked around with me, so he was enjoying himself too.
Yep.
Awesome.
Jumping
So
in trailers, you know.
we've talked about a little bit about this in the past, and I'm going to ask you. I'm going to ask you a couple questions as we go, both of y'all. But just whatever. What does it entail? And this, be very broad with this if you can, because then I'm going to come back and be a little bit more narrow. What all does a rep do at a contest?
A lot.
They're at the highest level, their job is to facilitate the whole process, right? They're representing the sanctioning body. So their job is to facilitate. They're hired by the organizer to make the contest run smooth. Pretty much. At the highest level.
What is something that y'all do to make a contest run smooth?
Make sure that everybody adheres to all the rules, whether they're judging or cooking. I mean, that's one of the biggest things that there are.
See, that's kind of what I want to get into. It's not just the cooks, right? There's more to a contest than just the cooks.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So you got cooks, you got judges, the organizer, the reps. Yep. Everything plays into it, and you have to orchestrate it all together to make it work correctly.
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah. Some of the difficulties I've been hearing from some of the reps I've been talking to is communications with the organizer is probably the first thing that's very important. The reps and the organizers working together right from the beginning, understanding how many teams you're going to have. I've heard horror stories where some reps are like coming in, like they might be 2 days before the start of the contest, and
they need 2 more tables full of
and the organizer brought in like 10 teams in the last minute. So then they got to try to hurry up and find judges. I just couldn't imagine that. I remember Biloxi.
Biloxi was like that, yeah.
I don't know how they did it, but they were able to fill 2 more tables because I mean, they had it was the Bigglers were the reps for that one, and they work with Maxine and Fred Kilgore as the judge coordinators, and those guys are awesome working together. They have a whole contact list, and they just go down the list calling people, say, hey, can you hurry up and maybe you can judge this weekend, and they make it happen. So I give them a lot of credit for the way
it's funny you say that, because that's with us. Wayne and Rachel Harper are our main reps, and we are in contact with them all the time. Like, I mean, because as an organizer, there's teams always saying, hey, I'm going to sign up. I'm going to sign up. I'm going to sign up. Right. And they don't sign up until the last minute, but or you're assuming that you're going to have another 20 teams show up. Right. So we always send them our list, and then they're like, well, I've got another at least 15 people that said they're coming. So just go ahead and plan on 12, right? Or 10. Because some are going to sign up, and some aren't, or some are going to back out. But I mean, it is, if you don't have a good clue of what's happening, it's hard to run a contest as an organizer.
Yeah. And it's not that fair to have 10, 12 judges show up extra, and they don't really, I mean, there's not that many extra jobs in the judging area. So it's really not fair to them. So really, unfortunately, something needs to happen. I know we're usually pretty good about signing up early enough. There's been a couple times where I thought there's no way I'd get out of work. So last minute, I was able to cook. So I'm like, hey, can you fit us in? But when you got majority of teams that don't show, or sign up till last minute, that's tough. That's tough on the organizer, but mainly it's tough on the reps because they got to find extra teams or extra judges. So
I think it's hard on the organizer too.
Yeah. Well, the only alternative, right?
It is hard on the organizer because you guys stress out about everything going right, whether you're going to get teams next year, whether you're going to have a contest next year. If you don't have 100% KCBS judges, there's going to be teams out there that go, I don't want to go to that contest.
Not coming back, right? Yeah.
Right.
Richard Crow.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Richard Crow asked a question. How many judges do you need for a 50-team competition?
50 judges.
Yeah.
It usually evens out to like one judge per team.
Yeah, so it's 50 judges, and then you have a little sort of a cushion of.
I know for our contest, we try to get a 20%. We try to have 20% more than the teams.
Well, that doesn't include the table captain, right?
Right.
So 50 is judges, and then you need a table captain.
You need table captains.
For
you
each
need
table.
to people to work the grazing table. You need people to work the turn-in table. So you have those jobs to do inside the tent or room or whatever where you're judging. But for judges, you need about one per team.
Yeah. So for 50, you need at least 60 or so, 60, 65.
If we had I know for our contest, we'll have, if we have 100 teams, I would feel very comfortable if we had 125 judges.
That's a lot.
I know I'm being selfish in that, but there's always a place that you can use a judge if they don't get to do something. And we have pro, we have backyard, we have dessert, we have, adding the extra category helps with the judge number, because if they don't get to judge something, you can always let them judge dessert or something else. So there's always different things that we found that they can do.
Yeah, with a contest your size, having that many extra, you can probably make it work where they would have something beneficial to do.
Right.
Because you have multiple turn-in lanes, if you will. Like Gadsden, we have a backyard and a pro side. So
I've got breaking news, everybody. Breaking news. My man, Sailor Nick,
I saw that.
Won my first category this past weekend. Dude, I'm telling you, somebody that's been working hard, and his first contest was the ABS Classic 2 years. Great family. Love seeing him do well. Him and his wife. Oh, that is so cool. Congratulations, Nick. That is too cool.
Congrats.
Way to go, man. I am super proud of you. That is amazing. Man, that's awesome. Good for them. So yeah, but going back to there's always something for judges to do. And I don't know how that works. Like, I don't know. It's kind of interesting to us with the extra judges. I don't know because I'm trying to think of what our reps did with, like, how they decide. Because all I know is y'all decide. The reps come in there and they handle everything. Y'all handle all the judges. Y'all seat them. Y'all do all that kind of fun stuff. And then if they're left over, they get to, I don't really know how that part of it works. But anyway, so go ahead. Here's the question I've been dying to ask, and that's premature, but that's okay. And Lex, I'm going to ask you. What is your favorite part about the repping position, job, or whatever?
I don't know. I mean, computers, entering stores is always fun, because I'm like a little kid at Christmas. I'm entering scores really fast, verifying them, and then going over to the tally page to see who won that category. That's like my most exciting thing that I do. I really like working the turn-in table and making sure that the boxes go to the different tables and making sure that that's all good to go. Because you know me, I'm always, maybe they messed up my box if we get a bad score. That's always. But chances of that are very slim, because you've got at least 4 or 5 people looking at those boxes. Yeah. So I'm sure it has happened in the past, but it's really rare. But yeah, I think it's finding out who wins before anybody else, and then talking to the people afterwards and not letting any of that slip.
Oh, it's so strange, isn't it? Oh, it's so wild. It's like, only one time was I able to find out who the actual winner was, but when they were there. The other time I didn't get to know. But other than that, it's awesome. Robert, what's your favorite part?
Oh man. I also like working the turn-in part, putting them in the trays, putting the right boxes in the trays is very important. That part of it, and make sure that you're not getting the same box on the same table twice. And again, that requires the table captains to make sure they did their job right. Of course, chicken, it doesn't matter, but for the other ones, I mean, being a table captain is an important job as well. So, and that's something that the rep has to do. Once all the boxes get turned in, you're walking around, making sure everybody's doing what they're supposed to be doing at the judging tables.
But you know what? I think I'd be remiss to say that, because we're working both sides, right? So you're working the judges side and you're working the team side. And we haven't been in the judges tent all that often, really. I mean, we've been CBJ since we started. But we've only done, judge things, just a couple of times. So getting to know the judges as well as the teams, because even though we cook a lot of pro backyard contests, we don't see a lot of the backyard teams all the time. And the last, 3 weeks that we've done anything, we've been with backyard teams, which is really cool. But we're also getting to know the judges. Like I'll recognize them now when they come in by name. So it's pretty cool. So just
I said that was the first thing I learned when we did our contest. I was like, man, we all of us teams have our groups and our cliques and everybody that we hang out with, and it's so cool. Like we all look forward to seeing each other. The judges are the same way. I mean, they show up and they have their groups and they love it. I mean, and I'd say all the time, like they have their the competition barbecue is the same to them. It's just completely different, right? Like theirs is a different way of doing it. They just get to test it and try it and everything else, where we get in there and hang out. But they all hang out too. I mean, it's kind of cool to see. I mean, I love it. I think it's so neat to see. It's more of that barbecue family. I just, as an organizer, as somebody that's in barbecue, that loves it and that is invested in it, I would love to see somehow, some way that the judges and the teams, and I know it's a different dynamic, but just to see somehow if they can intermingle with each other more. That's something that I would.
Well, and that was a big discussion this last weekend. I mean, we were talking a lot with the Bigglers about it and the Kilgores, because when the Bigglers used to cook, they said every Thursday night there would be a potluck. Was it Thursday or Friday? I can't even remember.
Yeah.
But they would always have a potluck with the judges and the teams, and there wasn't that division there. And
that's
I don't see why we can't do that now.
So we had that opportunity on Friday nights at our contest, right? I thought we invited everybody, but certain people got invited and the judges came, and it was amazing. Like
that's awesome.
Saturday at the contest, we got so many thank yous from the judge, like, hey, thank you so much for letting us come. That was awesome. So I told Ellen, and at our contest again this year, Friday night, potluck is going to be for everybody. It's going to be for judges. It's going to be for teams. The reps can come on Friday nights, from my understanding. They can come. They just can't drink with anybody. So they're allowed to be there, and we're gonna have a big kumbaya and have a great time there. That's what's so awesome. What's up, David? Going? How you doing? But potlucks to me are where you get an opportunity to come in there and actually see each other, relax, and intermingle. I think that's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, another thing that we saw back when the Covered Bridge contest was there, we cooked it once, but they gave the goodie bags to the judges after the judges were done, and they had to come and bring it to the team that they were assigned. So they actually went and met you. That's really cool. Yeah, I thought that was really neat.
There were a few just said, "Here you go, see ya."
Yeah,
but
I mean, you can.
I think most of them were pretty good about it.
Yeah, you can make them a little goodie bag, of food that you have left over, because there's some contests where they're not allowed to take food home. So I mean, there's always that. Yeah. Oh, and just let me break here real quick. I see that David Goins on, so I'm assuming Joelle's on. Happy birthday, Joelle! I love you.
Happy birthday! Love it. So. Oh, love it.
It was just so much fun. Barbecue podcast that.
So awesome. So awesome. Great people. Gotta love it. All right. So next question. And I don't know this answer. None of these, y'all know me, there's no agenda. And they have no clue what's going to be asked. What has been the most difficult aspect or whatever to the rep training?
Wow. Well, the judging process, we were sort of familiar with that already. I would say it's the whole scoring system thing.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah, I think because it was new to us, right? We've never done it before. So the whole scoring system, setting up the contest in the system ahead of time, and
it's not necessarily that it's
Difficult.
difficult, but it's just figuring it out and making
Yes.
sure. Like I was trying to load, we got the teams in for this past weekend that we were at, and I'm sitting there trying to load it, and I'm like, it's not loading, it's not loading. And then I took one from an older contest and I loaded fine, and I'm like, well, what the hell's going on? So yeah, it's just there was one column that wasn't filled out. So I mean, it's just knowing those little things, because he was having the same problem today, because we had just gotten the list, and I'm like, oh, see that column? There's nothing in there. He's like, oh, okay.
So you know, as that makes me feel really good, right? Knowing that everything has to be right in that data to be turned in to make it work.
Yeah.
Right. If not, there's something wrong and there's something going on and there should be red flags. Right. That's pretty cool. That's good to know that everything's got to be done correctly. Man, that's awesome. I hope your contest was good. I hope you had a good time. M1. I did Friday night potluck for everyone. My workers cooked smoked pulled ham.
That sounds awesome.
Sweet potato casserole and great, man, that sounds good. Everybody brought stuff to share. If they didn't have time, they're still welcome. It was a good pile. That's what's so cool. I mean, I love that. It's so much fun. I mean, so I haven't been able to ask a question. What's been the dip? I was going to get David. I'll get into that next. That's on down the line. Sorry, I'm not ready for that yet. That is definitely a question. And I'm going to give you credit for it. I'm going to let you ask that question in a second. But I'm going to keep going here real quick. So I guess I messed up by saying difficulty. Like, what has been or strain or whatever? Like, I didn't mean nothing's really difficult. I know, right? It's all just kind of fun and self-explanatory. As a cook, what has been eye-opening?
Oh, man. I don't know if anything's been. I say as a cook, you don't fully understand the process.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah.
So when you get in there, when you understand the process, you think, okay, all those things I thought can go wrong, probably it's pretty tough for them to go wrong, right?
Right.
There would have to be multiple people in the process for it to fail. And usually if one fails, you're going to notice it and then you fix it. Not that has happened at the 3 we've done, but somebody's got to fail, from the label to the put it in the wrong crate to getting to the table captain saying, because the table pick captain is sort of that last line of defense about getting on the same table twice, for instance. If it gets to them and they let it go through on the same table twice, it's gone through 2 other sort of wickets before it gets there. So, I mean, I feel pretty good. Even if the label got the wrong number, someone's going to notice it somewhere.
Somebody else.
Yeah.
If one of them got messed up, somebody else has got messed up.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because there's only anyway. So that's so cool. I mean, I love this. I mean, everybody should judge, and everybody should. If you don't judge, go volunteer with a contest. Find the organizer. Go volunteer. And if you're a volunteer, you can do whatever the heck you want to, right? As long as the organizer's there with you. Like, I mean, I can do whatever the heck I want to in the judges' room, right? If I let somebody come with me, they can see what's going on, right? Like, not just any Joe can come in there, but if the organizer knows what they're trying to show stuff, you can see whatever you want to, right? Like, I mean, it is very awesome.
Well, I mean, we did that years and years ago. The one time we did not cook Smoke on the Shores, we still we showed up there. It was raining cats and dogs, and there was like this much water in the judge's tent. But we were he was doing trash, but we were in there and we were doing that. We didn't know about the boxes and how that was done. So Kathy and Philip Brazier had us on the turn-in tables, and he was building the boxes and I was changing numbers. But to see that in action and to walk around when they're judging and stuff, it's very eye-opening.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's really cool. Like, I'm going to say, if you've never done it, you got to do it.
Well, any cook can go show up to contests, if they aren't cooking that weekend, I highly recommend it. Go in and volunteer. Anybody can volunteer. They'll find something for you to do.
Oh, 100%.
Did you see that?
I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't see any of those comments. Whatever. We're gonna go right by it. Did you get what was your grade last weekend? Do y'all get grades on your?
No, we didn't get grades.
I bet you got better than that C minus.
Oh, we did get. They do some kind of ratings.
Yeah, they do 1 through 5 or something. For Gadsden, I think we got 5s. I don't know about this past weekend though.
No C minus,
right.
Little gringo. Love it. Yes, it is very much a well-known fact that they're going to be highly sought after, and I'm just excited that I don't even know if we've. Have y'all decided what you're doing for our contest?
Oh, we don't know. We'll see what happens. They already have 4 reps for your contest, so we'll either cook or we'll maybe come help out or something.
Cook.
I'm hoping we need 6. The goal is to need 6 reps. Right.
We'll see what happens. I mean, that's not up to us. That's up to KCBS. So
no, it's not. It's up to me.
Yeah. No. We got to.
Really, I mean, like as an organizer, I can choose. It's not up to KCBS.
Yeah, I know, but
bull crap. No. Anyway, a little bitter. Just moving right along. When is y'all's next one that you're repping? Nick wants to know.
This weekend.
This weekend
in Louisville.
Louisville.
Yeah.
Anybody hadn't signed up for Louisville? I don't know if it's too late or not, but maybe y'all could go sign up. Go see Robert Lex in action this weekend. Yeah. I mean, if you haven't signed up and you want to see the next superstars of KCBS, go to Louisville, Kentucky this weekend. I don't know the name of the contest. It's going to be awesome. Do y'all know
Derby Park Cook-Off. It's right next to Churchill Downs.
Oh, is it really? Man.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're still going to have stuff from the Derby this weekend.
I don't know. But Kent and Rachel Schutz, I think is how you say their last name. I've known them for a long time. I'm not sure I'm even saying their name right. So
Kent and Rachel,
but they're the reps. We're going to be training under them. So we'll probably come there. They're going to say, what the heck you been doing in Alabama? This ain't right.
Well, that's kind of the question. All right. So since you said that, David asked the question earlier, what's been the biggest difference between working with different reps?
Well, down here, the 2 that we worked with are pretty similar, only because the Biglers taught the Appletons pretty much. Now, do they do it exact? No. They do have some flexibility to do things differently. They all sort of follow that same sort of guidelines, but there's some flexibility in some of the things they do.
Is there a manual there that they go by?
There is, but there's a lot of flexibility where you can do what you like. For instance, so when we started talking about repping and doing that kind of stuff, and knowing what the process is here for when the box goes back and you've got people, changing the numbers and you've got people looking at the numbers and putting them in the trays. On the West Coast, we heard it's done differently, where the table captains go up there and kind of yell out, "Oh, I haven't had that box. Give me that box," and they'll take their boxes to their tables. And we've heard that it's like pandemonium out there, but
it works for them, right?
But it works for them, and we were thinking about maybe possibly going out there to go and see that, just to see how it works. I think that would be fun. Again?
So usually when your box comes back, they change it to your alternate number, put your label on there with your alternate number, and then it goes over to the trays, right? So they put in those bread trays, and it's usually the ones we've been to, except for the one in Chelsea. The reps are the one, or whoever the reps have designated are the ones putting the number. So on the top left side of the box is the sequence number that they're supposed to judge the box. And then the bottom right is they put a T and then the table number. So if there's 6 entries on a table, it's going to be, your first one's going to be 1 and then table 1 or whatever. So sometimes they give that job to the table captain to do.
On the West Coast.
Yep. And in Chelsea, it was only Sam and I. We barely had enough judges. And so we had to work, turn in and do the labels and put them in the crate or the bread tray. So we actually had the table captains number them, which you're allowed to do, because when you go to table captain training, that's one of the things they teach you to do anyway. So, but some reps rather just sort of manage it all themselves. I'm not saying micromanage, but manage it all themselves. They have certain, and sometimes I call them the bigglers. They have their own little posse, right?
Yes, they do.
With the Kilgores, help them out almost every contest.
Yep.
They have a couple other people that come and help them. They know who they can trust to do certain jobs. And those people are happy to follow them around and do those jobs.
It's funny you say that. Like, at our contest, every time Wayne and Rachel are like, these are the people, this is the position. Like, they tell us, I don't care what you do with everybody else volunteer wise, these are the people I'm using for this role.
Yes.
Yep.
I mean, because that's what matters, right? Like, that is if that gets messed up, it messes up everything, right? And you have people, and it's not difficult. It's just knowing what to do, right? Being consistent.
Right, because they bring, like for Pusaki, for example, you have how many teams there? You know, you have backyard and pro turning in, and Fred Kilgore was telling me it's like a constant, steady stream of boxes just coming in and coming in and coming in. So they have to deal with them, but they've got certain people picked out that go to that contest every year that work that, and they don't mess with them. They don't talk with them. They just let them get to work and do what they need to do because they know what they need to do.
Right. And doing it right, it matters.
That's right.
You talk about Randy Todd. Octopuses.
That's so funny. How long do you have to train before you go on your own?
So we actually have to train under 4 reps. I think we're going to wind up doing 5, maybe 6.
You always go above and beyond.
No, if you look going back, most reps have been judges, right? A lot of those are master judges that have become reps. In fact, I think it used to be a requirement to be a rep. You need to have been a master judge. And they sort of took that requirement away. Obviously, they did if we're doing it, right? So I thought it'd probably be, I mean, even though we've done it twice unofficially a third time, and we've learned quite a bit. I think we're feeling pretty confident. I mean, there's probably a few things. I mean, even though we did Gadsden, we still want to, do a pro contest, and that's why we're happy about this weekend.
Yeah,
we're doing sort of a smaller pro contest this weekend with 20 teams. So.
Yeah, but that's one of the other things. I mean, he doesn't go to Cook's meetings a lot, but I do. I go to every single one. So I could probably recite that in my sleep, but doing the judges meeting and doing the table captains meeting, that's a little different for me. So that's something that, I've got to make sure that I know what I'm talking about during those meetings.
There's a whole, you got your Cook's meetings and then the judges meeting, and they take oaths and they do all kinds, it is Cook's meetings are almost like redundant, right? Like whatever, right?
6 peaks is in the box. We're here to make sure you've got it.
It is. Yeah.
The judge, and I'm sure the judges think their meeting is redundant too, but I don't hear it very often. So to me, it's like, man, this is awesome. They really are getting into it with it. Like, not getting into it. They're really talking. They're really addressing things. This is amazing, Well, but sure. If you think about it, KCBS's role is to bring the reps and the judges, right? So the reps and judges go hand in hand. Whereas the teams, you don't have to be a KCS team. You don't have to be a member of you don't have to be a member of KCBS to cook a contest. But you have to be a judge, a member to be a judge.
Not necessarily. If you don't have enough judges, you're getting them all.
That's right. And then, but that, right. But that's what you're saying at that point. Then everybody's mad because they're not 100% certain.
And that's when you don't have a contest the next year, right?
Well, you think for judges, sort of KCBS is bringing the judges. They train the judges, but it's the organizer that brings the judges, right? It's your organizer is responsible for bringing the judges. Mm-hmm. So for you have a
I have a judge
organizer.
coordinator. Yeah,
Uh,
judge
Yeah.
coordinator.
Judge
Yeah.
I have a
coordinator.
judge coordinator that's their role is to bring in judges for
Well, then they must be the ones that have access to the judge portal site.
Yes.
I don't know what they call it officially. I can't remember, but where they can see who's signed up on the site.
And now that you say that,
Yeah.
the reps tell us kind of like who they think is good at it and everything else. So
They could, but but you have the final say. If
yeah,
you want,
yeah.
If you want a certain judges, you
Like
get
so,
that.
I can tell Eric. Eric is like we've had Tom Morris do ours the past couple of years. They're going on a cruise this year. They're not going to be able to make it. So we've got Eric coming in. He's done Smoke on the Shores. He's done a lot of other contests. And I can tell him, hey, look, I want Jacob judges. I want no Jacob judges. I want whatever. And they'll do what they can to go get that. But real quick, while we're speaking of judges, Richard has asked, are there backyard judges and pro judges?
Nope, just judges. There's master judges and regular CBJs.
Yeah.
And there's master judges with over 200 contests, we found out. There have been a couple at our contests. So, but it's like when you're judging, is there a backyard style of judging? No, there's one KCBS way to judge. And that's what you should do no matter where you are. If you're at the Jack, if you're at a backyard contest, it's all the same.
And our contest,
I'm going to ask for master judges to fill the professional side first. For me, as an organizer, I want to make sure that the pro side has master judge. If we're short, I'm going to make sure that the master side or the pro side, whatever it's called these days, is taken care of. We've been blessed that we've had judges, so it hasn't been an issue. So, anything else y'all want to add to that?
No comment.
Oh,
We'll plead the fifth on that.
we'll talk offline later. No, I'm kidding.
No, the ones we've done, like I said, even Gadsden, the majority of them were pretty much all masters anyway. In Alabama, there's a lot of master judges in this area.
Yeah, and we're fortunate enough to get a lot of those teams. All right. James has asked a question. In rep training, have you dealt with any comment card mix-ups?
Nope. But what do you mean by mix-ups? Do you mean like something weird written on them, or because I haven't seen anything.
We haven't seen any mix-ups or nothing that anybody brought up. Honestly, I'm not saying the comment cards aren't important, but that main focus is that scorecard, right? That's the main priority. And I'll give the Bigglers credit. I think the official verbiage is that the board of directors recommends you do a comment, or they do a comment card for 6 and under. The Bigglers says they're not even going to say 6. They're going to say they recommend you do a comment card, but you're not required to. They tell them you're not required, but it's highly recommended. If you have time, do a comment card.
Yeah, if there's something that you really like, because she said, don't mention the 6th thing at the contest. And I said, I'm not going to. But I said, if there's something you really liked or you didn't like, I said, you guys drive how we cook. I mean, how they cook. You guys drive how they cook. So if there's something you liked about an entry, write it down on a comment card and give it to the cook because they'll like that. If there's something you don't like, write it down on a comment card and give it to the cook because they'll like that. Either way, it's going to be good for the cook and it's going to be good for the judges later.
Yeah.
This is great. I love it when y'all come on. Y'all did a great job. Brothers Cube.
Gareth.
I like that. No, the bottom one.
No, I think Gareth is on there.
Oh, hey, Gareth. Thank you.
Awesome. Good to hear. I think some master judges are the most crazy scoring because they refuse to change. I think it
depends on I think that depends on the personality, the person, right?
Yeah.
But I was also
that's the person that usually is like that.
And I was going to say, I know somebody that's on the show today that hates changes too.
We said we wanted to change that pineapple glaze, and look
Who said we said that we wanted to change?
No.
You and Brian?
Brian and I. Yeah.
Okay, you guys do that.
See?
Ellen and I will be sipping apple pie moon inside.
I hear you. Love your legs.
They'll get to 180, then they'll be all about it. They'll say it was their idea.
I'm talking about teamwork makes the
Dream work.
Yes, sir. All right. All right. Sorry, guys. We just got a little excited there. Can't wait for Chewin the BBQ Fat to get back in action. Yeah, James, that if the card says too much sauce, there's no sauce on your product. Yeah, if you cook the legs and they say the thighs were something else. I'm gonna be the guy. I love judges to death. I think they're amazing. I think they're awesome. But we can't do a contest without judges. They're incredible. Sometimes I think they get a little excited and think they are saying something that offends us or whatever, and it comes across wrong. It is what it is. You
got to remember too. One of the priorities when you're judging these entries, and you've got 6 or maybe sometimes 7. You've got to make sure you've judged all 7 entries, fill out your scorecard appropriately. Then the last thing you do is those comment cards. That's the least, I'm not saying it's not important, but it's the least important out of that whole process. So you'd be surprised how quick rib turning curls around, and you got to hurry up and clear your damn table and get ready for the next category. And we know it as cooks, right? That 30 minutes in between categories or entries goes pretty quick.
You think it goes fast? You think it goes fast as a cook? When you're in the judges tent, it goes really fast. Like, I mean, because they come in for 10 minutes, right? Like, I mean, they sometimes they come in before the window's open. They're sitting there waiting.
Yeah.
And then up until the last seconds, I don't know anybody that does that. The last seconds to turn in.
Who would do
and
that?
Then I don't know, me, you, I don't know, all of us. But it's like that you've got that happening, and you don't even get the food back sometimes, right? Like sometimes, I mean, and next thing you know, it's like, oh God, hurry up. Like people are getting their food and the other tables are already tearing down their table, getting ready for the next set of stuff. I mean, it's awesome.
Oh yeah.
It is amazing to see how all that stuff works. In my opinion, I love watching it.
I think the hardest thing for judges too is because there's other people judging when you get done. It's funny that I see the judges, they get all excited and they want to talk about what they had.
Oh yeah.
And then they, like me, I'm from Jersey, I get so excited I talk louder as I get more excited about stuff. So they do the same, and then the reps got to yell them, hey, keep it down, keep it down.
No talking. Like you got to be quiet in there. It's amazing.
Yeah, I mean they're allowed to talk. They talk about the entries while other people are judging after their table's done, but they just got to keep it down.
Yeah.
I was pretty loud this weekend. Yeah, I made a mistake and said a cuss word at the turn-in table.
You're gonna get us fired. You're not supposed to tell people that.
Well, I didn't make that big of a mistake.
I'm just joking.
I didn't make that big. It wasn't anything that was not easily fixable. So
you're okay. All right. But going back to that, we appreciate comment cards. Judges continue to do comment cards. Mm-hmm. Yes, you're going to get a comment card that in your mind doesn't make any sense. In their mind, when they said it, it made a lot of sense.
Well, you got to remember too, and we've had this discussion with some other cooks too prior to this, Brian. These judges are not Food Network chefs, all right? Like you see on TV describing why they don't like something or whatever. They're not experts in barbecue, all right? Even though you might think they should be, they're not experts.
Yep.
I love that comment, but that's kind of what I was trying to say is what they're saying, they've got to write it down so fast. What they're trying to say is hard to get down. And if it doesn't make any sense, like just chalk it up and move on. I mean, I agree with that. Yes, it's frustrating as a cook because we put so much time and effort into it. But if it's something that just doesn't apply to you, no, it's not wrong. No, it did not affect your score. Comment cards don't affect your score one way or the other. Lex, when you're inputting data, is that comment card even there? No, you're looking at the sheet that they're putting all the information in. That comment card is not anywhere near what goes into the.
Those comment cards are sort of separate when we're inputting those scores. And then it's after it's all said and done that we print out your team detail sheet, and then we go over and get the right number and attach that to that sheet.
Yeah.
But I mean, there were so many comment cards that were just because they're in a hurry in between these categories. So they're just like marking stuff off. That's why there's all those little check boxes there. Because a lot of them don't have, I mean, they want to give you guys comments, or they want to give the cooks comments. I can't keep saying you guys. They want to give the cooks comments, but you know, they only have time to sit there and mark off so many boxes on so many cards.
Yeah.
So
Robert,
I did see a lot of good comment cards this weekend though. So that
I wasn't gonna do it, but it was asked specifically to you. So just be as broad as you want to. Robert, explain the comment card unknown flavor.
That means whatever you put on that damn thing, I just can't damn describe it because it's got awful. No, I'm just joking. No, I mean, really, I mean, they're just tasting something. I don't know what it is, but it isn't good. Or maybe it is good. Unknown flavor, but I'm assuming if someone said unknown flavor, they mark you down.
Most time, an unknown flavor is not good. But that is such a broad. It's so broad. It could be from a dirty cooker. It could be from bad charcoal. It could be the sauce was a little twangy or something that they can't describe. It's an unknown flavor that is so broad. I think that is one of those. That's one of those comments that is just it's out there. It's such a broad comment, and what they're trying to say is there's an unknown flavor. I don't know what it is, but you probably need to figure that out and either get rid of it or make it bigger or make it do something else with it. So anyway.
Yeah.
And that's what we've said before in a show, I don't know how many years ago now, but you cannot take comments. I mean, it could be, they can mark unknown flavor, or they can say it tastes like lighter fluid when you aren't using lighter fluid.
Right.
And then cooks get upset. Well, I wasn't using lighter fluid. Well, you had something on it that sort of tastes like it.
But what is that, right? Lighter fluid
don't take it literally, right?
Right. It's like a creosote flavor.
Something you have on there tastes bad.
And most likely it is probably a dirty cooker.
Maybe.
Which has that,
you're right.
Which has that creosote flavor, which sounds like, which in their mind tastes like lighter fluid. It could be dirty smoke. It could be something else that puts off in their mind lighter fluid type flavor. So you can't, like, you got to go back and you hear this stuff, go back and like examine, like, what exactly could that mean? Don't be so literal.
Yeah.
David asked a good question. David should have been on here tonight. I mean, you know, I'm about to turn this show over to David because he's who's in charge of what at a contest, organizer versus reps? That's a great question because I think KCBS gets too much credit or not enough credit, and then organizers don't get enough credit or too much credit for something else. So I'll let you go ahead and ask that question.
It depends on what you're talking about. So the organizer is in charge of that contest. The reps are facilitators.
Their contest, yeah. They've hired the KCBS to facilitate the contest as far as the process, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, they are really responsible for picking the judges. They can just use the KCBS certified judges from that they put on the site, and those organizers know that we as cooks want certified judges, right? So organizers are going to pick certified judges.
Yep.
I mean, as far as the venue and how that's running, that's on the organizer, I would say.
I'll tell you from
go ahead.
I'll tell you from my side of this part of it. I hire KCBS to handle judges seating. Like, organizers don't seat judges. Organizers don't. I mean, we can say how many tables we would recommend. Like, a rep will come to us and say, hey, you got 69 teams or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That is we can either do 11 tables or 12 tables. What do you want to do? And I, as an organizer, I say, look, I would rather have less tables because I know as a cook, I always say the less, the better. There's some organizers that are like, hey, we'd rather have more judges come in, so they'll have more tables. But I don't know who makes that.
I think that's changed now. KCBS has a sort of guideline for if you have a certain number of teams, these are your two options. based
Right.
on 6 entries or 5 or 6 entries. You have like 2 different options, but that's it.
Right. Yeah.
And on the pro side, you can have 2 tables,
Or you can have 4.
or you can have 4. You can't have 3 tables on the pro side anymore.
Right.
They have a little bit more flexibility on the backyard side, I believe. But on the pro side, and they do try to follow that same guideline on the backyard side, but
Right.
sometimes it just makes sense. I don't know why they don't allow the 3. Maybe because if it's a pro, right, you're going to get on a table more than once.
Yeah.
And it's going to be uneven for some. So,
and I think it has as much to do with the organizer as it does anything else. I know for me, I'm paying KCBS reps to come in and do their job. So I'm going to ask them, like, they can ask me what I want, but I'm going to say, y'all do this, you know best. So you tell me what you want to do, and I'm going to let you do that. Like when they say, hey, I want these people to be in charge of turn-in table. Okay, well, I'm not going to say, no, I want my people in charge. Like, no, that's what they recommend that. So I'm going to let them roll with that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And for most part, it's the organizer's event, but they hire the reps to run it and do
exactly. You hire KCBS to facilitate that process, let them do their job.
Right.
I mean, most of what the rep is doing is inside that judging area. That's the majority of it, I would say. Yeah, they go around to you on Friday and hand out your boxes and make sure you understand the rules and things like that. But
and my
large part is that Saturday when they're in that judging area to make sure that process goes correctly. Because as a cook, you want it to go right.
Yeah. My personal opinion, the problem, and this is just my limited, I haven't cooked like y'all have or anything else, but when I've seen the most problems when organizers try to get in the way of what KCBS, the reps are trying to do and dictate how the judges should judge and everything, like the organizers should just be in there thanking the judges for coming, not telling the judges how to cook. Like, right. Like that, we paid KCBS to sanction that. Let the KCBS handle that. That's my take on it. Yeah, that's true. People, yeah, that's true. We'll just leave that off. So what? Man, it's already been an hour, Robert.
Already time.
Golly, I did not know that went way too fast.
We had a lot of good questions, though.
I know we did.
We did, and see, you know what? That came from the audience. Good stuff.
I know. Look at that.
Real quick, you've been doing a lot of backyard stuff in Alabama. You did a double backyard, but a backyard double, whatever. A contest that was a double that was a backyard only. What do you think? What do I think is a good what do you think would be good for barbecue? Do you think it's good having division in barbecue, or do you think it would be better having barbecue be one big happy family with either 4 meat or 2 meat categories? Lex, you had your hand up. We'll let you go.
I'm very polarized on this, and I think because I know those backyard cooks cook just as well as we do. But I think that everything, and we wouldn't have to travel as far and we could cook more if they've just made 2 meat and 4 meat contests, maybe have a 3 meat contest.
Yeah.
But just have those and have everybody cook in one division, because there is no division in the judging between backyard and pro. Why not just have one division?
Yeah. I think that's a great idea personally, but what do I know?
I've been praying for that for
we've been sort of
years
we've been preaching this for a while, and if
Robert, we've had this conversation a lot. We've had this on this show,
especially for us in Alabama. I mean, we don't have any pro contests anymore, so I would love to just stay close to home. I would love to just go cook chicken and ribs a few weekends in a row or whatever.
That'd be awesome.
And a lot of the teams I talk to on the backyard side, I would say majority of them say they would love to go pro, except there's no contest in Alabama. So, I mean, all the reasons I hear for people not wanting to go pro that have been doing backyard a while is cost and availability of contests.
Yep.
And we all know contests have been sort of going down a little bit. So they're going to have to find a way. And I think if they get rid of the division and just make it a barbecue contest for everybody, there is no pro or backyard.
Well,
you have the option of a cook, whether you were backyard or pro, to go cook a 4 meat to qualify for the Jack of the Royal, or you can cook a 2 meat close to home, or you can cook a 3 meat.
Because you're still
so
going to have category races.
Here's the problem that we're having right now. And this is like what I'm seeing. Hosting a backyard contest.
Mhm.
Backyard contest now has been defined by KCBS as chicken and ribs. That's backyard. That's what qualifies a grand. That is what the overall team of the year points is based off of, is chicken and ribs.
Yep.
So the grand comes from chicken and ribs. So if you add a pork category, the pork category is supposed to be an ancillary category. So at our contest, I've mentioned this before, that we're going to have the 2 meat contest, and then the pork, we'll have pork for our backyard also, but it's an ancillary. It doesn't go towards the grand. So very interesting. It's, in my opinion, it is just kind of like mixing everything up. It needs to be one way or the other. And I'm glad they're doing it because it's consistent across the board.
I'm not sure if they're still doing that.
I don't think they're still doing that.
I think pork.
I could be wrong.
I think pork. We'll have to get back to you on that, but I think pork is being added in for the grand for that contest.
For that contest, not
maybe
KCBS.
not for KCBS points, but for that contest.
For the contest, but from my understanding is they're going back and doing the team of the year based off of chicken and ribs.
But no, so for backyard, and that's if they got rid of backyard and pro, do it like they're doing backyard now, where you have chicken team of the year and you have rib team of the year.
Yeah.
I don't believe they have a backyard team of the year, do they?
This year they've added it.
Oh, did they? All right.
And it's going to blow up everything because it's.
Yeah.
But that's okay. Just do the same, but.
Yeah. That's the only negative that some people would have issue with. If you got rid of the division, I think you'd have to do away with the team of the year thing overall, and just do category team of the year. Or chicken team of the year, rib, brisket, pork.
Like I know a lot of people have been talking about is doing like a kind of like a World Series where you like they had the Sam's Club, so you have your regional, you have your local, you have your regional, and then you have national level. I know that they've been talking about that I've heard several people talking about that for a few years now. Is where, you've got like one weekend, everybody does a local, and then the next weekend or, the next month you have everybody do a regional, and then you get together and whoever wins that is the team of the year.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many different ways you can do it. So I'm just glad y'all are getting deep into the interweavings of KCBS, and you're going to be able to fix it all.
Yeah, Matt. To qualify for the Jack, I think you've got to cook the 4 categories. Yeah. You have to cook the 4 different meats or the 3 different meats. That's why I'm not sure. I thought I remember you have to at least cook a chicken, pork product, and a beef. Maybe I don't remember, but I think you got to have maybe the 4.
Because I know GBA. I know GBA and NBN doesn't count because it's all pork. It's all one category or one. Whatever.
I can't remember.
James, I'm with you. James Golden, consistency across the country is what I think is the most important, no matter where they choose. So that's the problem in Georgia and Florida, Carolinas. They add pork in where nobody else in the country really adds pork in. It's a chicken and rib contest. So in order to make it fair across the board, the only way you can make it fair is to have 2 categories. So in my opinion, but anyway, so Robert and Lex, that was great. So we're going to get rid of we're going to have just one big happy family.
Good luck with that. I think KCBS might be too far down that road to want to change and go backwards. So I don't know if that ever happened. I think it's a good idea, but I think it'll keep more people in the sport longer.
I think what it'll do is keep people from going to cook. Our buddy Adam, I'm just going to use Adam and Tanya Dawkins, right?
Mm-hmm.
Bad Rooster. They went out and did a Middle South Georgia Association barbecue event. Paid a lot of money, right? Wasn't sanctioned by KCBS. It wasn't anything else. They didn't care, right? They don't care. Like, if you give people an opportunity to leave what you're doing and go try something else, that's the problem. You don't want to give people an opportunity to go do something else. Now, as barbecue in general as a whole and everything else and the big grand scheme of thing, yeah, who cares? Go cook barbecue. It doesn't matter what you're doing. Just go cook competition barbecue. Yeah. Right? I don't care what sanctioning body you go cook. Honestly, cook them all. But if KCBS is interested in keeping their group together, they need to think about some of that, in my opinion. Oh, that's awesome, James. Ira is doing some great things down there. Great contest here in Middle and South Georgia. If you're looking at anything, you can join their Facebook page, Middle and South Georgia Barbecue Association. Great thing. Go look them up. Go cook some of their contests. Y'all are the best. Love y'all to death. Thank you so much for coming on the show. Robert and Lex. Lex, is there anything else I missed tonight?
I don't know. The questions from everybody else was great. I think that kind of rounded everything out. You were good too. Don't get me wrong.
Oh, no, I'm always bad. Don't worry about that. So, Robert, is there anything you want to add?
I don't think so. We're good. We're good. Yeah, we've been having a good time not cooking.
A9s.
She's got me cooking the KCBS thing though, so we'll be cooking Memorial Day weekend.
Perfect.
Well, I thought it was weird that I thought I was the only one that still wanted to cook. But in talking with the Biglers this weekend, she told me, she said, I told Randy, if we ever cook again, we're not going to be repping or we're not going to be judging. We're going to keep cooking. She's the one who wants to go and cook, and I'm the one that wants to go and cook. And both of our guys are like,
Nah.
Hey, I want to go cook.
I just need a break. I'm enjoying the rep thing, so we'll see how that goes. We got a couple more trainings to go. Yeah. Then it's over to the KCBS board whether they want to approve us or not. So
perfect. Robert, I got one more question. How long you been cooking?
I saw that.
David,
forever it seems. Too damn long.
Too long. I love it. Thank y'all. And if you haven't signed up for Louisville, Kentucky, Derby Days, Derby Dash, Derby Barbecue,
Derby Park Barbecue Contest.
Thank you, Robert. Derby Park Barbecue Contest. Go sign up. Even though we told everybody not to wait till the last minute, do it anyway. Go sign up. Have a great time. Rob will find judges. And very important. Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Lex. Happy birthday, Joelle. Hope it's a great day. Hope your 21st is amazing.
Sing to her.
We should sing?
I said you should sing.
Oh, I will. Don't you worry.
Now.
You call her and sing to her.
Yeah. So anyway, I hope you all had a wonderful night. If you want to get in touch with Robert and Lex and find out more about barbecue, KCBS reps, get them on Facebook, get them on Instagram, get them on TikTok. They love Snapchat. Do all that. You'll be on it. Smoke Me Silly Barbecue, Silly Barbecue Life, whatever you want to do. They're the best. Get in touch with them, and y'all have a wonderful night. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks.
Bye.
We will see you next week, guys.